New shocking details have emerged about the involvement of Donald Trump's administration in the events currently unfolding in Mexico. Mexico has been engulfed by large-scale unrest, and shootouts between gang members and local military forces are becoming increasingly visible on the streets. On Sunday, Mexican special forces eliminated Nemesio Mencho Oseguera, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the most wanted drug lord in the country, for whose capture the United States had offered a reward of $15 million. In response, cartel fighters set cars on fire and blocked roads in Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta, and on the border with the United States, and also engaged in clashes with the military and police. And now there is information that American intelligence provided assistance to the Mexican military and was involved in the operations. Moreover, a separate paramilitary American-Mexican organization was even created. Although earlier, President of Mexico Sheinbaum denied any help from the Americans in the fight against drug cartels since Trump had threatened military invasions. All the details about what is happening in Mexico right now and what new information has become known, we will talk about all of this in this episode. My name is Elda Alexi Pechi. Let's discuss this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and leave any comment under this episode. And don't forget to subscribe to my Telegram channel, Peachy News. The link is in the description of this video. There we publish breaking news as it comes in. So, on Sunday, Mexican Special Forces eliminated Nemesio Mencho Oseguera, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. He is a wanted drug lord in Mexico, and in 2024, the United States of America offered a reward of $15 million for El Mencho's head. Oseguera was killed during a raid in the municipality of Topalpo, 130 kilometers southwest of Guadalajara. The operation involved military intelligence, the Air Force, and elite rapid response forces of the Mexican National Guard. 4 cartel gunmen, according to preliminary reports, died at the scene, and 3 more, including Oseguera, also known as El Mencho, died while being transported to Mexico City. A former police officer who used to sell avocados at the market in his youth, Oseguera turned Jalisco into Mexico's largest drug cartel, even surpassing the Sinaloa cartel. His people transported tons, just tons of cocaine from Colombia using speedboats and semi-submersibles. His personal security detail was even armed with portable anti-tank missile systems. And right after Oseguera's death, airlines from Mexico, the US, and Canada canceled all flights to Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta, and the US Embassy urged Americans in Mexico to stay at home. In Jalisco, soccer matches were canceled and schools and stores were closed. The Ministry of Security reported more than 20 checkpoints set up by militants. You can find more detailed information about the progress of the operations and the latest updates in my previous episode on this same YouTube channel. So be sure to watch it to be fully up to date on the events. Well, I didn't repeat what you might have already seen, so I recommend watching the previous episode. And today it is known that Mexican security forces eliminated El Mencho based on information received from the United States, which helped carry out the operation on Sunday. This was reported by the Trump administration and the Mexican Ministry of Defense. This is important because US President Donald Trump had been putting pressure on Mexican officials for several months to fight drug cartels, and the US provided assistance. They offered a reward of up to $15 million for information leading to the arrest of Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho. And it is worth noting that in Guadalajara, the capital of Jalisco State and one of the cities hosting the 2026 FIFA World Cup, gunshots were reported, and armed men who are believed to be cartel members set a gas station on fire. But the main news today is that according to the Mexican Ministry of Defense, Mexican soldiers were initially able to detain the cartel leader El Mencho, but they were attacked while transporting him and returned fire. According to the report, security forces killed 4 cartel members and 3 more, including El Mencho himself, later died from their injuries. And now photos have already appeared online showing that the convoy transporting the arrested El Mencho was indeed attacked, and you can see that there was really a shootout. Unfortunately, I can't show all these photos on YouTube because it's sensitive content. If you're interested, go to the Telegram channel and check them out there. It is also reported that the authorities detained 2 cartel members and seized, quote, various weapons and armored vehicles, including rocket launchers capable of shooting down aircraft and destroying armored vehicles. Here's the context of this story. In December 2024, a statement from the US State Department announced an increase in the reward for arrest or conviction. El Mencho, the leader and founder of the drug cartel, was named a fugitive, meaning they stated that he had escaped. And next, they will quote the State Department. Since 2017, Oseguera Cervantes has been prosecuted several times in the United States for drug trafficking. Quite recently, in April 2022, Oseguera was charged with participating in ongoing criminal activity. Conspiracy to manufacture and distribute methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl for importation into the United States, and the use of firearms. During and in connection with crimes related to drug trafficking, the cartel is one of the largest and most violent drug trafficking organizations operating in Mexico and is responsible for exporting tons of cocaine, methamphetamine, and illegal opioids to the United States. And here we are today. The Mexican Ministry of Defense stated in its announcement that, in addition to the efforts of Central Military Intelligence for this operation, as part of bilateral coordination and cooperation with the United States of America, American authorities provided information that helped carry out the operation. After that, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed that American intelligence provided support to the Mexican government in carrying out the operation. And this is where things start to get really interesting. It is reported that a new military structure led by the United States, called the Joint Interagency Task Force on Countering Cartels, participated in preparing the raid against the cartel. It is reported that the United States prepared a detailed target dossier on Oseguera for the Mexican authorities, including intelligence and law enforcement data. At the same time, the raid itself remained a Mexican operation. It is reported that American military personnel allegedly did not participate in it. At the same time, the U.S. Department of Defense hinted that American military personnel carried out an operation as part of a joint U.S.-Mexican task force, which regularly cooperates with the Mexican military. Through the United States Northern Command, which oversees American operations in both countries. And this was already a hint that the American military might not only have provided intelligence data, but also something more. Nevertheless, all the praise, glory, and honors today go to the Mexican military. According to Caroline Leavitt, the Trump administration expresses appreciation and gratitude to the Mexican military for their cooperation and the successful execution of this operation in Tapalpa, Jalisco State, Mexico, as a result of which 3 more cartel members were killed, 3 were wounded, and 2 were arrested. President Trump has made it absolutely clear that the United States will ensure that narco-terrorists who supply deadly drugs to our homeland will face the punishment they have long deserved. Last year, President Trump rightly recognized the Jalisco New Generation Cartel as a foreign terrorist organization because that is exactly what they are. And at the same time, representatives of the Pentagon and Northern Command simply stated, and I quote, "This was a Mexican military operation and we refer all journalists to the government of Mexico for further information." I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. If there are new updates, I'll release a new episode. In the meantime, I ask you to support this YouTube channel financially with your donations or a paid subscription using the links and details in the description of this video or by scanning the QR code on your screens. That's all for now. Take care, everyone.